What if the biggest crypto story of the year didn't come from a meme coin pump, a billion-dollar hack, or even a celebrity lawsuit? What if it came from a courtroom? Because last week, US lawmakers didn't just argue about crypto, they finally passed something. Quietly, with bipartisan support, and barely anyone noticed. But this one change? It could reshape the future of crypto in America. Let's break down what just happened, what it means for your money, and why this moment might be more important than any bull run. In mid-July 2025, Congress hosted one of its most aggressive crypto sessions ever. Dubbed Crypto Week, it featured public hearings, private meetings, political chess moves, and, finally, votes on 3 bills that could define the rules of the crypto game in the US. 3 proposals were on the table. First, the Genius Act, designed to lay out how exchanges and crypto tokens should be regulated. Second, the Stablecoin Clarity Act, aimed at finally putting rules around coins like USDT and USDC. And third, the CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act, trying to block the US government from launching a centralized digital dollar that could track your every transaction. All 3 got airtime, but only one passed. The Genius Act got through, and that is huge. It stands for Guiding Engagement with New Innovations and Utilizing Safe Systems. Bureaucratic name. But what it actually does is far more direct. It gives the crypto industry a real legal path forward. Under this act, exchanges have a clearer route to register. Crypto assets like Bitcoin are officially treated as commodities, not securities. And oversight is shared between the SEC and CFTC, rather than letting Gary Gensler call all the shots. In plain terms, it reduces the regulatory fear that's been haunting American crypto for years. Now here's the twist. The bill passed with support from both parties, but it was heavily backed and promoted by Donald Trump. Whether you support him or not, Trump's pro-crypto stance is now influencing actual legislation. His campaign has positioned him as anti-CBDC, pro-fintech, and pro-Bitcoin. And this move gave him a win with both tech and finance crowds. After the Genius Act passed, markets reacted fast. Bitcoin surged past $120,000. Coinbase stock jumped. Even stablecoins saw a spike in volume, but then a correction. Because the market runs on emotion, adoption runs on law, and not every bill made it through. The Stablecoin Clarity Act didn't pass, even though it aimed to create transparency, like requiring regular audits and one reserve backing for stablecoins. It raised red flags inside the Treasury. Regulators feared that too much pressure, too fast, could destabilize Tether and trigger a liquidity shock. So the vote was shelved. Same with the anti-CBDC bill. It aimed to prevent the Federal Reserve from launching a digital dollar that tracks citizens. Republicans backed it, Democrats didn't. Result? Stalemate. That leaves the Genius Act as the only one that crossed the finish line. And it sends a signal. The US isn't banning crypto, it's starting to systemize it. Quick question for you. Which of the 3 bills do you think will impact the market the most? The Genius Act, stablecoin regulation, or the CBDC fight? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious where the crypto community stands on this. Behind the scenes, this wasn't just legislation, it was positioning. Crypto is now officially a 2024 election issue. Both parties are taking stances. Trump is using crypto to frame himself as anti-surveillance, pro-freedom. Meanwhile, Democrats are walking a tightrope between innovation and consumer protection. And around the world, everyone's watching. Europe is moving forward with MyCA, their version of crypto regulation. India is expanding its digital rupee pilots. Hong Kong is fast-tracking ETFs, but all of them wait for one thing: US clarity. Because global capital still follows American law. And for the first time, that law doesn't look hostile. So what does this mean for you? First, the Genius Act isn't perfect, but it gives the US crypto industry a legal breathing room it hasn't had in years. Exchanges, developers, and even funds now have a regulatory map. Second, stablecoins are next. Whether it's USDT or USDC, expect renewed pressure for audits, registration, and risk disclosures. Third, CBDCs are not dead. Even though the anti-surveillance bill failed, the Fed is still testing ways to digitize the dollar. Expect that conversation to ramp up again after the election. Fourth, we're entering a new phase, from regulation by enforcement to regulation by design. And that means you, as an investor, need to understand not just tokens, but policy. Because tokens can make you money, but laws can decide if you're even allowed to trade them. So here's the big picture. Crypto isn't being banned, it's being absorbed. Whether that's good or bad depends on how informed you are. That's why we'll keep decoding the chaos, so you can focus on the opportunities. If this helped, like the video, share it with someone who needs to stay ahead, and subscribe to Wealthwise. Because in this space, knowing first makes all the difference. And before you go, tell me this in the comments. Are these new laws a step toward freedom or control? Let's see what the community really thinks.